Sunrise Extra on a Wednesday, halfway through the week. I mailed out some Christmas packages to my nieces and nephews yesterday. Folks are getting their holiday cards out. So that is our topic today, holiday cards. Specifically, I want to talk about those photo cards that you can make on like Shutterfly. What are some other websites? Etsy we mentioned today. And they're kind of been all the rage for the past, I don't know.
Long time.
I like seeing photos of people's family.
Sure.
I despise the cards that are like Hallmark and only have your name on the inside. Oh, no information about your family, no picture, no anything. Don't need that.
You despise that? Wow. Brenda, that's strong.
I recycle those quicker than anything.
Yes, disappointed.
I want to picture you in your house. You get a card, you open it up. There's a generic picture of a Christmas tree on the front. Inside it says Season's Greetings, and it simply says, Love, Rod. You're pissed at this point. Now you're mad.
No, I wouldn't say. You know, perhaps that is too strong of a characterization. What I say is, oh, that's nice, and then I put it in the pile that goes out that day to recycle.
Now I think about it, Brenda did not speak to me last January, February through March. Wow.
If you're going to send a Christmas card, I like the form letters, actually, because it tells me something about your family.
Yeah, I like that,
and if we haven't seen each other for a year or 6 months or whatever, that's what I want to know about. But just a generic card with like a little greeting, I do appreciate that you're thinking of me, but I'm not going to keep that around as long. I'm just not.
Point taken.
Wait a minute, though. What are you going to do with the form letter? You going to frame it?
You read it and then you toss it, but you get something out of it.
I know, but she said you're not going to keep the other cards around, but you're not going to keep that form letter around either.
But I keep it up here.
Renee Robertson.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Renee Robertson says, agree, Brenda. Yes.
Wow.
Agree with what? I feel like we're all over the place already. We're only a minute into the show.
No, she doesn't like the, where you just like sign something or XO or whatever. It has to have some personal touch.
But can we take a quick vote of the panel? Where do we stand on like the most popular of the cards, the sort of the collage
photo cards?
The photo cards. Where do we stand on those?
Yay or nay, gang? Sure.
Brenda's in on those.
Yeah.
Rod?
I like those, but I would like for us all to make a pact to commit for the next 5 years to all send Brenda a generic Christmas card.
You're down with it.
You're trolling me.
I like the picture cards
1501 Southwest Jefferson.
Nina, where do you stand on the picture cards?
When the photo cards came out, I thought they were awesome. They were pretty. I had fun making it and sending it out. And now that we have Instagram and we've had Facebook for a long time. I see most everyone, anyway, photos. Yeah. And I think now it's just gotten to be, I just want to put it out there and say what everyone, I think, mostly does.
Okay, go ahead.
Get it in the mail. Yeah. And you get excited when you have a letter that is addressed to you because it's all bills, that we get anymore. Yeah. So it's exciting when you get something mailed. I like that part. I open it and I say, oh, isn't that nice? Look at so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Garbage.
But that's what we've always done. That's what we did 40 years ago.
But everyone gets so mad at me because I'm saying that I'm putting it in the recycle. I look at it,
I am not mad at you.
Oh, we hang them. We have the little thing on the refrigerator that my wife found. It's got the little clips, so it holds, I don't know, probably 50 Christmas cards, honestly. So it becomes part of our Christmas decoration, right? Then we clip those and those hang out.
So you're a good person.
And when I was a kid, my mom had the basket that had holiday wrap on it, ribbons that sat on the coffee table in the living room, and all the Christmas cards went into that basket.
Okay.
Drew, you have quite the setup at your house. I like it. It looks very neat and organized.
I gave some pictures, Brenda, to this point, to our producer, Jessica Smith, who's working feverishly to provide those pictures to now the Sunrise Extra audience. But same deal as Rod. We get those cards. See, Nina, you didn't take a strong take there. I mean, you said you like getting those cards.
Well, I don't want to be a total devil, but...
I just want you to be honest.
I'm being totally honest. I get excited to get something in the mail. And then... So now I stopped sending them myself because I realized I'm just tossing them in the garbage. So why am I spending money for other people to toss them in the garbage?
It's cut to the chase.
And really, it's like the whole what is the word I'm trying to say? Like our Instagram society of we love to look at ourselves and we love other people. We imagine other people stare at our cards as long as we do.
I never imagine that.
But you don't send them out anymore. So you're not.
I've never imagined that.
You are a realist. I like it.
I am.
Yeah. I mean, technology, do we agree on this? I think Nina was kind of going there. It seems to me the technology of the internet, where we get to see our friends and families' photos and stories throughout the year, has pretty much replaced I don't want to say the need for the Christmas card, but it's the only word I can come up with. Because when I was a kid, if you didn't visit your family on vacation, that's the only time you got to see a picture
Literally,
of it
yeah.
all year.
Yep.
Right?
You're right. They're not as impactful, I guess, as they were in yesteryear. But here, for my situation, I think of my best friend growing up in Darby, Pennsylvania, Tony Contando.
Tony, we've heard of Tony.
Tony. My best man at my wedding lives here locally in Hillsborough, Mike Simpson. Mike. I don't follow either one of these guys on Instagram. I don't know if they follow me. We barely stay in touch because I don't know why, I'm very bad at that. But I still get cards from Tony's family, Mike's family. They get cards from us. And guess what? I like it when I get that card. And in fact, this past weekend, got Mike's card. He told me later that he hadn't even seen the card yet himself. But it's already out there in the mail. His wife sent them out. But I took a picture of the card. I texted it to him and I said, hey, good-looking family.
Oh, that's nice.
Just to kind of, we had a text exchange for 6 seconds, and it was nice.
That's nice.
Yes.
I just remember there was a lot of guilt associated with sending Christmas cards back in the day if you didn't.
Or not send,
Right. If you didn't do it, it was like, oh man, I got to get to that, add it to the list.
Is it something?
So I think you have to know your audience. If you have people, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whoever it is, friends who love them, I think that's what you do. You know your audience, you send them to those people. But for the rest of us, I release you of any responsibility of sending me anything.
Right.
But I do enjoy the photos, the letters, any details about the family if I haven't seen you in a long time.
Brenda, do you think it's a newlywed thing? And I asked that because I remember when Grace and I first got married, Grayson, we sent out more Christmas cards to people that first year. It was like, we're married.
Well, you're
we do this now.
excited to show
And then
off your
something new.
person.
just got a card from one of my cousins and her new husband, her first husband, I should say. Her only husband in the mail. And it just made me think, oh yeah, when we were newlyweds, we were more excited to do that than we are right now.
And you want to do couple-y things, you know, like it's new. And so, all right, Drew, we got your Christmas card. Let's see it.
Okay, so we can throw the. Well, see, we're going to go backwards order.
what?
This is the Christmas tree or Christmas tree. This is the Christmas card holder.
Well, these are like special, specific.
We had those up year-round. Sometimes my wife used to put like the kids' art projects on there, but now this time of the year it's dedicated to the Christmas cards. And there's our card front and back.
Yeah.
You can't. The wording is so small you can't even read it, and I can't remember what it says exactly, but something along the lines of, "It's been a crazy year. We hope to see you next year." But there again, like on the hallway coming into our house, you'll see these Christmas card holders, and ideally, we'll fill both of those up. Right now, they're a little empty. I don't know if it's because it's early December or it's because we're not as popular as we once were, but we're still collecting this year's Christmas cards to fill the trees.
How do you arrange them on there? Because they all look so.
Can we just
There's
freeze
little
them?
metal and it slides into. It's like a little.
No,
paper
I'm
clip.
kind of teasing him because he is very specific about the way they need to look.
Learned we all three are.
I don't like gaps in between the cards. So even though we have only some cards right now, I put them together already because I don't like to see the gaps between the cards on the wall. No white spaces.
You did this, not Mia. You did it, Drew.
I open the cards up and
This is the one thing you do in your house?
One thing. I mow the darn lawn, thank you very much. I mow the lawn and put the Christmas cards up. And Mia will she'll get mad at me for doing it. She goes, I didn't get to see the card. I didn't know the Hemsley sent us a card. I didn't know the Smiths sent us a card. Why'd you put it on the wall so quick? So I even get in trouble, Rod, for doing something I think is helpful.
That's why I don't do anything anymore. I'm not doing it.
Stand down.
Yes.
Don't breathe.
Did you guys read Renee's comment?
No.
While I was waxing poetic about my disdain for Christmas cards?
No.
Because we've been living overseas for 15 years, we don't send cards. My hubby writes a Christmas letter and we email to family and friends
that's nice.
along with a page of miscellaneous photos throughout the year.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Sheila Speck, I always send Christmas cards, send notes to those I never see. I hang them up to Rod. I don't know what that means. Cheryl Patterson says, I love them. The fact that someone cared enough to take time and money to send, I display it until New Year's. Danielle says, I love giving and getting Christmas cards in the mail. Nancy Smith-Kloss says, I make a garland of the ones we receive, my favorite decor.
Nice.
Connie Staub Miller says, I keep photo cards of people up for a year. I love seeing them. And she also said that, Drew, you are a better person than Brenda and Nina.
Wait, which viewer said that? Oh, Connie.
Wow.
You're the new fave, Connie.
Yes.
Jennifer Taft says, Drew, you're a closeted softie. That sarcasm and snark is just a cover.
That is so true.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
That is true
embarrassingly
about
true.
you.
People, that
Yeah.
is so
That's
true.
embarrassingly true, Rob.
Hard inside there.
Yep, I probably am most likely to cry during an episode of Sunrise Extra. Of the four of us, I think I'm most likely to shed a
Oh,
tear
boy.
during one
Do
of
you
these.
think so?
Yeah, maybe. I've come close like twice to almost crying during Sunrise Extra.
Yeah,
One time,
me
remember
cry
Brenda? I think it was
laughing.
just you and I. It was the mother and daughter that came out and talked about the nonprofit because they were going through such a tough year.
It was the domestic violence
Yes.
shelter.
And just
Why
something
am I
about that
blanking?
daughter.
Raphael House.
Raphael House.
Yeah, they were so poignant and touching.
Yeah, something about that the daughter sitting next to the mother and showing her support, like it almost got me that day. It did get me, but I held back the tears.
Yeah, no, that's good. You're in touch with your sensitive side. Angela Barks Draz says, I sent over 40 cards this year. Not a newlywed thing. I'm over 50.
Right.
It's a lost activity, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of a lost art.
What about the pictures, guys? I remember, again, before the internet days mostly, and when we all had photo albums, right, that we
Right.
kept, and then you get this beautiful photograph of some relatives or friends, and I always went through that period. Do I need to clip off the photograph and put that in a photo album, or do I just toss it? It seems, I felt guilty about just throwing the picture away. Did you guys ever save them in an album or transfer the photos to an album? No. Never.
I've saved way too much other stuff.
All right.
And then it just, I think that is a Braxton trait. Because my mom, I was in my 40s, people, and she literally sent up a box. She was cleaning out the house of stuff from my childhood, like lunch punch cards from my elementary school. I'm like, did you seriously
Wow.
save all this?
Oh, boy.
So
It's
I
kind of a fun memory for a second, and then you throw it away.
Yeah. But
That's a lot of savings,
No,
though. My
Rod,
goodness.
to answer your question, no, I cannot save that much stuff.
Okay,
These are some
all right.
examples of some viewers, and some of them were really good for 2020. There are some great templates out there on like Shutterfly and stuff that just are pretty sarcastic about it. This lady, Carol, she made it kind of out of a Zoom card and took pictures off of Zoom because they couldn't do their usual COVID or their family picture because of COVID.
I like this one here from Rochelle. She says, these are the cards I made this year. Let it snow. How about the one, do we still have the
cool.
one,
That's
Producer
kinda fun.
Celeste, where,
This
there it is,
one.
yes.
That's good.
This is Laura. You can see the scripting there on the card. Baby, it's COVID outside.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Nasty pictures. Ay, ay,
Yeah.
ay. Suzanne, what is that? Oh, that's a regular Christmas
You
card.
said 60
I
of them
spent
now.
60
Wow.
of them.
8 different kinds. Holy moly.
Oh, that's...
There you go.
Oh, the old peanut.
We just watched the Peanuts special
Charlie Brown
the other
Christmas?
day.
That's my
Yeah,
favorite.
we streamed it up. Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
I love
How
that.
was it?
It was great.
Good.
I
Has
love
Paloma
all
seen
those
that one
little
yet?
things.
I don't think so. I wonder if she'd like it.
To me, that is, as far as the 30-minute
She probably
cartoon
would.
specials go, that is number one.
The
Tops.
Christmas one.
And every Charlie Brown special, other than that one, is not as good as the Christmas one. I mean, that is the best performance by the Peanuts gang, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Lucy and Linus and all that. Yeah, I love it.
We'll have to check that out.
Are you guys ready for your Joshua Madrid daily update?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Regular on our show.
What's up, Josh?
No.
Joshua says, this is especially pointed at you, Brenda Braxton. Any gesture of kindness, no matter how small, is always welcome in our house, and we reciprocate. That moment of excitement when a card arrives is worth everything, especially during a year like this. Love them, Joshua says.
You are my guru. I take it all back. You're right.
Can I just say I am really glad that I am not the
Well, listen, wait
devil
a minute.
today. You get to.
Yes, I embrace that role today. But
ask you a quick
Joshua's right.
Brenda, you said you haven't sent out Christmas cards in years?
No, but you know what we did? We moved this year, and in the flurry of moving in December, my God, and during a pandemic, I think most people don't know exactly where I am.
Right.
So maybe that's a good thing for me. But I do think we are going to send out some cards. I said to Jeff, we've got to send out a letter and at least say, hey, this is our new address.
Yeah. And if you say, at our house, like what I'll do, after I take the cards out and I hang them up, I'll also get in trouble if I don't save the envelope because Mia, my wife, wants to make sure she has the correct address. for
That is a
everyone.
good
Right.
thing.
So you
yes.
get the return address with those cards.
So you add that to your list for next year, right?
I can't, yeah, it is pretty incredible, right? Our audience would not have guessed at the start of this if they said, which two on the panel don't actually send out Christmas cards? They would be surprised to find out the answer was
It's the upper
Nina
boxes.
and the Brenda.
The upper people, the
Rod,
upper
you don't
boxes.
send Christmas. Drew, you're the only one.
Rod sends
we
a
send
Christmas
them out.
card.
Oh, you guys do?
Yep. Yep.
Rod is on our Christmas card list because he sent us a card one time and he ended up on the list.
Yeah.
Nina and Brenda not on the
do
Christmas
you have
card
to
list.
send
I see you
Christmas
every day.
cards
It's all
back
right.
to everybody who sends them to you?
Nah.
Is that how you build the list?
Well,
Kind of.
I don't know what happens first, the chicken or the egg, but I do know that if someone sent us a card and we were like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's awesome. We now know where so-and-so lives. Maybe we didn't know before, or maybe they weren't top of mind. Not that you weren't, Rod, but maybe someone wasn't top of mind, and we go, oh my gosh, it did serve as a reminder.
Yeah.
They may have gotten on the list, and yeah, it can work
We
that way.
forgot about Rod.
Do you
I
keep
love
track?
this
Oh,
one.
go ahead. Yeah.
Rhonda, this is a great idea. Now, I feel like I would do this with those cards that are just generic.
Oh.
I use the Christmas cards that are sent to me for gift tags.
Oh,
She just
yeah.
cuts them out and puts them on packages. That is a good use of recycling those
That
cards.
It
is
is because those
good.
gift tags.
Yeah.
Things cost a lot of money, you know.
do.
Yeah.
Little
They're
things you
just-
tie on, and then
I'm
they
always
just get thrown
running
away.
out of them.
Yeah. Carol says she saved all photo cards, all of them, for 40 years. I actually organized them during the pandemic. It was fun looking back at them. That's Carol Curtin. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dedication to the card.
Yeah.
Monty King says we send out around 120, and so many people. Oh, geez, some Stanford Walker just knocked me out.
I
His
see your comment. Want me to finish it?
Please.
Okay, Monty said we send around 120 every year. So many people receiving them let us know how much getting those cards means to them.
Okay, Stanford's also a curmudgeon like me. He says, a waste of money and trees. I am a green person. So he's not sending them out. I do
okay.
it for other reasons, but going green is a good one.
Yeah, Elaine says this year it seems important to mark the holiday and reach out to people in the ways we can. I'm sending photo cards, but trying to write a little note. I love to get cards, but would like a little personal
Yeah, I
message.
wish like those sites like Shutterfly and stuff would have more templates, and maybe I just haven't really been delving into that, but with more of like a text box where you could type something substantial, you know, of like,
Yeah.
Timmy did this year or whatever, you know, whereas right now it's just picture and you don't have to sign anything.
Is anybody my age where you
No.
read those? I know. I'm the old one.
I am.
But I've reached
You are
that
older
point.
than me, though. I do
What were
like
you gonna
saying
say?
that.
I reached that point some years back where I'm reading the letters that people send. I'm like, oh my gosh, your kids just graduated from college?
Yeah,
I'm
isn't that
thinking,
crazy?
last time I saw them, they were 5,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's crazy.
You got to be careful with the form letter this year, though, because those can sometimes sound like a bit of bragging, maybe gloating a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I read into them too much. But this year, we want to be sensitive to a lot of people will be receiving cards this year, and they're going through, quite frankly, the worst year of their life.
Yeah.
So maybe you can kind of ease what might be read as bragging statements.
Rod, you learned a new phrase today.
What was that,
We
dear?
talked about humble brags.
Oh, and I thought it was fumble.
Fumble brags,
Yeah.
which could be also appropriate, to the point. A fumble
Yeah.
brag.
You're fumbling if you're not humble.
Humble brag, though, it's a contradiction in terms, isn't it?
Well, it's
Humble
kind
and
of, when
bragging?
you're trying to be self-deprecating, but you don't really mean it.
Yes.
So it's kind of that
Okay.
juxtaposition.
All right.
Connie is back, ganging up on you a bit here, Brenda.
All right,
she
go for
says
it,
that
girls.
she-
I am all about this.
She says Brenda is the new Grinch. In fact, we're going to call it Brench.
Oh, I like
Grinch.
that.
I like
Yes,
it too.
The Brench that stole Christmas.
Only when it comes to Christmas.
Brenda, I was all prepared to be the bad guy here.
See, I don't think I can change Brenda. Years of not sending out a Christmas card. I feel like I've known you long enough, 14 years now, as a matter of fact, Brenda, to know that I'm not going to change you during the course of a Sunrise Extra.
That's true.
You can or cannot choose to send out Christmas cards. But
Yes.
Nina, I think that you're on the edge here. I feel like you
Really?
can be converted because you said yourself at the start, you enjoy the moment of going into the mailbox, going past the bills and seeing a Christmas card from someone that you know and care about at least a little bit. You open it up and you like that moment. Now, I don't care that you
Very quick.
recycle it. That doesn't matter. What are you supposed to do with it? I don't expect you to save it, but you had that moment because that person sent you the card. Wouldn't you like to reciprocate and give that person the same moment when they open up the
It's
mailbox
not
and
enough
see
of a
your card?
moment for me to.
Whoa.
Moment.
I mean,
Not enough of a
Preach,
moment.
girl.
I don't know. Like
your truth.
It's a lot of work. You got to go on. You got to design it. You got to wait for it to come in the mail. Then you got to handwrite all the stuff. Then you got to pay for all the stamps. And for someone to be like, "Oh, that's nice," garbage.
No.
You know,
Her heart
like
will not grow 3 sizes this day.
Have you received a
Brenda
Christmas
and I
card?
are Grinchy.
Have you gotten one Christmas card yet, Nina?
Yeah.
And did you like sending it? I mean, did you like
Getting
receiving
it?
Did you like getting it?
This was from a person that I don't know. That
You got one card?
peripherally works
don't know?
with my husband.
all right.
I've never met them, never heard of them, I don't know them. So I left it on, I didn't even open, I could tell by the address, return address, that it was someone I didn't know. And actually there's another unopened one on our kitchen counter that was from Eugene. That's probably some friend of my husband's. He gets Christmas cards. So I leave them on the counter, he can open them, and then I throw them away.
The stream has some good ideas, though. I gotta say, Jennifer Taft weighing back in. She says send some to a retirement home.
Oh,
yeah, that's
for
a really
people
good
who
idea.
may
See,
be
that
lonely,
makes
don't
a
have
difference.
family.
Yeah.
That I would do.
Were you guys ever inquire, like in high school, and you would go? We always went and performed at
Yep.
nursing homes, you know,
Yes.
during the Christmas season. It was really a
Yes.
nice memery. Yeah.
Yes, it was. My daughter did
Yeah.
that with piano.
Yeah.
Some of those little residents were not so nice.
Wait, in what way? You
Oh my
That's
God.
probably because they sent you a Christmas card and you didn't say thank you.
mean? What do you mean? What do you
I didn't think
mean?
it was enough of a moment.
It was just interesting. We've had, you know what, again, not judging because this is part of life, right? You get older, sometimes there's dementia. You
Yeah.
know, my dad had Alzheimer's, but you get kind of a whole different group of people. And they went into some different places, and I think one of the poor old guys tried to goose my daughter, and one of the staff members kind of intervened,
I
and
don't
you just
like that.
never know.
Wow.
But for the
Little-
most part, they were beautiful souls that were listening to music. We did that
Yeah.
in choir. She did that for her piano lessons.
That was around the holidays?
Yeah.
Jennifer Taft
a little
says they
Christmas
can be
goosing.
spicy, those
They
elders.
are very spicy. That's a good way to put it.
I called Director Brian spicy yesterday, too. I love that descriptor. It's so
I do
perfect.
too. Oh my gosh.
What did Willie Huey say? He says, I think we've come to the root of the problem with Nina. She has Charlie Brown syndrome, mad about cards because her husband gets more than her.
I would say that's a branch of the problem.
funny.
The roots are much deeper than that. Will.
It is, really. Joshua says, it looks like we got a sensitive gentleman's club on Sunrise, and I am here for it. Keep it going, fellas. Love your big hearts. Yes.
Yes, we love yours back.
My heart's here for you, Joshua. We have another crier in the crowd. Howard Wright, another male crier, says, hey, Drew, I cry during the Charlie Brown Christmas special when Lina says, lights, please. That moment when he says, lights, please, and then he goes into his big speech about what Christmas is all about, brings a tear to Howard Wright's eyes.
Wow.
I'm with you, man. I'm right there.
Heartless.
When he turns to Charlie Brown at the end of that speech, the back end of that, after lights out, he gives a speech, and then he turns to Charlie and says, and that's the true meaning
That
of
was a
Christmas,
mic
Charlie
drop.
Brown.
Right there.
It's awesome.
I just can't
guy
get over the
blanket.
fact they really could use a better tree in that show.
That's the whole point
But
of
do
the
you
show.
know at the end it comes to life? It's not just that one little branch.
And they're singing
With
the
that big
song with their
ornament.
mouths like it's heads raised, mouths open.
Shall we leave Sunrise Extra with a little bit of the Charlie Brown dance? I think that would be.
Susan May is with us, Brenda. She says she stopped sending them years ago and will not go back. I don't really get anything out of receiving them either. Boom, Susan.
Wow. Hey, Drew.
Yes, Rod?
I think this will only be believable if you and I are the only ones doing it and we do it together. And on 3, will you wish everybody, just say Merry Christmas to everybody with me. Merry Christmas, everybody. You ready, Drew?
sure.
1, 2, 3 Merry Christmas, everybody.
They just cut us out of the
We'll
Merry
say
Christmas.
bah humbug. All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Holiday.
Bye.